that's the first time I've sat down and been able to talk to the planning officers about this situation. And interestingly, they weren't really majoring on poultry sheds, they were majoring on housing development. And it was the AMB that tried to steer the discussions to poultry sheds. So,
do you know, or have you got any feel for whether there's large numbers of objections, whether that makes much of a difference?
I've been told it does. There's some poultry sheds that have gone through with just a handful of objections, 2 or 3, that's it.
Hardly any.
Yeah.
And there are some cases, I don't know if it's so much in Shropshire, I know there's a few in Shropshire, but particularly in Herefordshire, where the number of supporting letters is now almost higher than the objectors.
But that's just a lobbying, there's people being lobbied, and I know that for a fact at other developments in our A&B. They've got their friends to write in letters. They've even had their feed providers writing letters of support, and farmer reps writing, NFU writing letters of support. But in terms of community, again, it depends how active the community are. I mean, there's some parishes that are so spread out, and I suppose when it's in the thing with Bridge North one, for example, where there's been a massive amount of objection, that's because it's next to a central population, and then therefore you would expect there to be a large number of letters objecting to it. And the same with Munslow in many respects. It's started very quietly, but when we realised that it's actually slap bang between two villages which are not very far apart from each other, there's only sort of 600 metres between the curtilage, between the two properties.
Yeah.
It's just, that's when it's going to start provoking letters, I think. And I think your previous point about having people animated as well in the village, that will go a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. I should just ask you one question about where you think it's going about the future. With that, if you had a crystal ball, what do you think the trends will be over the next 5, 10, beyond?
In the poultry industry itself, or
well, I suppose that would be part of it. Is what's going to happen with the poultry industry and the planning application process for those.
I think there's lots of different scenarios there. One, the poultry industry could be reaching, nothing grows exponentially. It reaches it plateaus eventually. I'm not sure we're there yet. I mean, I have spoken to some farmers and said there's plenty of growth left in the market. Or one farmer who's a poultry farmer. We did go and see one. And he was very candid about it all, and we appreciated his candour. He felt there's more capacity. In terms of the regulatory agencies, I think they've been slow to understand the consequences, and I think they're just going to catch up a little bit. So this crazy scenario of the EA being the permitter, but also the body that's required to make sure we deliver on Water Framework Directive, is a bit nonsensical, to tell you the truth. The fact that local council now have started to issue some interim guidance to planners about cumulative impact, maybe that'll have a little bit of lend a little bit of weight to the reasons not to do it. And also the 25-year environment plan. There's lots of things in there that in terms of, it's good words, a lot of it. I haven't read it all. I've only read bits that really relate to the AMB. But in terms of the AMB, they are looking at a review of AMBs, and I assume they'll be looking at how we are protecting A and Bs, whether we are protecting A and Bs, whether the planning system is fit for purpose in terms of protecting A and Bs. So that's all in the mix as well. So where it's going, I can't say, but there's lots of things. There's lots of things that are being looked at now, which previously weren't being looked at, and maybe that will put brakes on the system. It might not. I don't know. But there is a sort of critical mass in this area already, which means that this is why it's happening. You know, with historical background in poultry in Shropshire and Herefordshire. You know, there's always been the Chucky chicken thing going back.
Where did that start? Was that the Whistonstowe?
Chucky chickens, I think, was at Afcot.
Oh, yeah.
And there's still a unit at Afcot.
There's a hatchery, yeah.
I don't know if it's a hatchery, but there's certainly a facility there. I don't know what they're called now.
Yeah.
I think they used to have a chicken on the Craven Arms town badge, hadn't they?
Was there?
I think so, yeah.
Because there used to be a unit up where Brick Park is now, I think, was chickens for a while. I don't know. I've been trying to follow, what was where when, but it has changed a lot. And like the one at Afcot has changed ownership about 3 times in the last 10 years. I think it's Hook Two Sisters or something. There's have it now, I think, but it's changed a bit. I think it's a hatchery. There's a couple of sheds, a couple of sheds beyond, but they don't look as if they're currently in use. To be honest, they look derelict. And there was planning permission to put some more, but they've never been built. So
we had planning application come in a couple of months ago for that unit at Afcot to extend it.
I was going to say I saw a little one.
It wasn't massive, and we haven't objected to it.
Yeah, I had to look at that. And I thought, actually no.
No, it's quite small. Yeah. But I saw one planning application. Again, I didn't know about this. I just happened to be walking past the poultry unit, and saw there's a planning application outside the front of the entrance of the poultry unit, which made me go and look at the planning portal. So I didn't know about this planning application in the A&B, and what they're doing is they're extending the building a little bit, but they're putting a mezzanine in there. So.
And where's that?
That is at near not Kefenarnia. Colbatch. There's a free range poultry.
I was going to say that sounds like a free range egg thing with the mezzanines. I seem to remember that's how they sometimes do it.